Ladies and gentlemen, what is up? Let's talk RC with myself, Christopher Nelson, episode number 9. This is crazy. Didn't think this would actually go through. Episode number 9. I don't know what to say, guys. This is kind of crazy. I got a little bit of an audience. We got like a consistent 30, 40 people. I'll take it. They actually want to listen to something a brother has to say about RC. Not bad, huh? Not bad. All right, guys, we got a lot to go over. We got a lot to talk about. Majority of it positive. So that's a good thing, RC guys. All right, we got SoCal RC Track Series. We got Wicked Weekend. We got Top Notch Series. We got JBRL Series. We got SoCal RC Track Series. Huckleberry Track up here. We got the vintage race to talk about. We got a few things to talk about. All right. So I'm not gonna wait for anybody to get on board. You guys knew we were going on at 7, so let's hop on to it, guys. Let's go. Oh, the most anticipated RC track series in the world is going down in 4 days. I'm just joking. I'm just joking. It's just a small little RC track series. But it's a good one, guys. It's a good one. All right. So, again, um, I feel this is one of the most important track series you guys can ever go to. Again, 100% of the proceeds go to the tracks. Um, it's not to demote any promoters or anybody else in the world or anything that's going on. It's just when you get the breakdown of what tracks get when other series or other promoters come in. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's a paycheck just like anything else. But if the tracks themselves don't have time to or dates to put on their own series or their own race, that hurts things. That hurts things quite a bit. So this track is 100% solely for the track owners. Now, somebody is saying it was my track series. It's not my track series, guys. I just happen to own 2 tracks that are in the series that are in SoCal, but it's not my personal track series. This is Southern California RC track series. All right, guys. So um, we're gonna go over the details, later on in the podcast too. But the general questions that I was getting asked is, are we gonna have practice before? Because we just got a new layout in. Big shout out to Daniel Smith, Eddie Lorette. These guys killed it on this one, guys. This one is gonna be this one. You guys thought the last layout was fun. Wait until you see this one. We got the straightaway in the back. It's made for an old man. It's gonna be easy. But we're gonna have it's gonna be heads up racing. So we're gonna have practice on Friday. That's gonna be the first day that anybody can lay laps down. Okay, so Friday morning, 8 a.m. That's gonna be practice, and it's gonna be all day till about 9 o'clock at night. We're gonna let it go to. Okay, Friday morning at 9 a.m. racing starts. Okay, we're gonna have practice from 7 to 8 a.m. guys, or I think 7 to 8:30, depending on how entries go. If we can get them inputted in time. But there's only going to be about an hour of practice in the morning, guys, for those that didn't show up on Friday, or even if they did. Okay, so very little time. This is going to be heads up racing. All right, we did this at the A-Bane Challenge. We got a lot of slack behind it. We got criticized by it, but they are currently doing that at Huckleberry. We're going to get into Huckleberry too. All right, and it's one of the coolest things. You show up first race. I mean, first thing you get on the track, you're racing, and I loved it. I loved it. Same thing with the A-Main Challenge. That everyone that was in it, except for a few guys that got hacked, in their first race, you had some crybabies or whatever. But the majority of the guys loved it. So this is heads up racing, and it's going to be the same format for all the tracks. Okay, same exact format, everything. My fan got turned around. So anyway, yeah, we're gonna go over that. We're gonna go over that a little bit more detail. But racing starts at 9 a.m. Practice will be from 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. And we're gonna go until we get done. We're hoping we get a decent amount. We're not looking for a huge turnout or anything. It's not gonna happen because we got crunched again. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. All right. We're gonna get into other things. All right. So Let me see who is actually James Johnson, one of our locals at Thunder Alley. He just said the most keyest thing that us Nelsons and what we do at Palm Desert RC and Thunder Alley. Yes, James, we are barbecuing again. We will have lunch and food. We always feed the racers because I don't like to leave the track at all. But don't get me wrong, I forgot. I'm sorry. There's going to be a pickleball tournament going on the same weekend, so they're going to be serving food as well. Okay. So yes, James, I'm glad you're on. I'm glad you're watching, and thank you for bringing that up. Yes, we will have barbecue in the house, so that's going to be cool. All right. So without further ado, let's talk about Wicked Weekend. Woo, man. Hey, you know what though? I'm gonna say this though. It was an awesome race to watch. Awesome race to watch, guys. Uh, there was a lot going on though. There was a lot going on. Racing wise, it was fun to watch. Uh, it's total opposite of what's gonna be at the World, so it's kind of hard to base what you saw at Wicked Weekend, you know, to what we think we're going to go into in the Worlds. I think the Nationals this year is going to be the closest thing to the Worlds because I think that track at AMA Hobbies is going to dry out, and I think they're going to let it run dry, and that's going to be cool. But it was cool to see Dakota Finn do his thing. You know, I have said this in previous podcasts, but I feel Ryan Mayfield is hands down the fastest truggy driver in the United States or in the world. There's nothing to. I'm not saying he's not a buggy driver because he was flying in buggy, and the boy is bad. He's won multiple things, multiple times, but it's very hard to beat Ryan Mayfield with a truggy on any surface, flat, bumpy, anything. The boy is bad to the bone, and obviously he killed it at Wicked Weekend. Barack Killick, he's another one that's like between Barack and Mayfield. God, those two can get down on a truggy. I tell you, it's pretty cool. So, but anyway, what can we say about Wicked Weekend? We can say a couple of things. Uh, the host of the race and the announcer made guys lose the race. I've heard a lot of complaints. Believe me, you guys know I've heard a lot of complaints, but that was a first. That was a first. I've never heard the announcer that has no control over the race at all. He's just calling it as he sees it. He had no control over it, and he was being told that he was the reason some individuals lost the race. And I know how that feels because I'm a racer. And at the moment though, when I'm racing, it's impossible to know what the commentators are saying or doing or any of that sort, you know. So that was a very interesting subject. But I'm gonna tell you guys this, all right? Lance with Elite Productions and Kenan, they pour their heart and soul into every race entertainment event they do. And they strive to be the best. They're not there to party. They're not there to have a good time. They're there to work, and they're there to work for us racers. Okay, I've been to a lot of race time entertainment events, and again, not saying they're perfect, but I'm definitely not saying they're bad. But they pour their heart and soul into every event, and it just sucks to see a little bit of that going on, especially at my events as well. We don't do anything purposely to make it bad, but it just sucks to see that happening, you know, or hear that happening, especially on social media, because that's where it's all going down. Because it would have been nice if obviously the kid or those people had no idea that, you know, what was being said commentaries wise, or not seeing his car on the video or whatever was going on. But it would have been nice for them to just go up to him, talk to him face to face, man to man, and it's over. It won't even jump to social media, you know. But I learned a lot of RC racers don't do that stuff at all. They don't do it at all. So, yeah, that could be interesting. So anyway, Matthew Mahanje, what's up, buddy? We're gonna be seeing Matthew at Apple Bash here pretty soon. Peter Whitehead, what's up, buddy? Uh, Speaking of Peter Whitehead, I'm gonna go back to the RC SoCal series. We got SCT, guys. That's a class at that short course, or at that race, at that series. Short course class, all right? But speaking of Peter Whitehead, he's done it again, folks. This man has done it again. He said, hey, Chris, try my radio, or try my car. I am not a short course guy at all. I hate short course. I just don't like it. I love real short courses, like we used to watch at Angel Stadium back in the day, you know, or the Coliseum. But RC short course, I don't like it. I drove his Mugen short course. And I was like, oh my God, this thing is drivable. This thing is cool. What the hell? You oops, I did it again. That's what Peter said. He built a Mugen short course and it drove so good. It was unbelievable. Didn't even have the body on it, you know? So I think he's going to be busting that thing out. I see a challenge coming from Scott Washburn and Peter Whitehead. I think that's going to be a cool battle. But then, right as I say that, the WIRC guys are like, oh, that's what's going on, Chris? That's what's up? Okay, let's build a short course. We're going to bring short courses out. So it's gonna be a cool little battle between SCTs at the SoCal RC series. That's gonna be cool. Yeah, that's gonna be cool. So anyway, back to Wicked Weekend. Um, Again, guys, when it comes to races, and there was, the one thing I will say about the East Coast, I will say this about Wicked Weekend was that I loved how almost every single racer came to bat for Lance, Elite Productions, and Kenyon. Almost every single racer. I respect that wholeheartedly. So East Coast, I respect that because yeah, there was one or two guys that just badmouthed the race, and a lot of East Coast guys were like, "Well, it's time for me to delete people off my page. I don't need this negative. I don't need this and blah blah blah." I was like, "Good for you guys. Good for you guys sticking up for your promoter. Good for you guys, man." So I applaud that. I applaud that. So good for you guys. But I will say that damn track built up. What did they call it? Character. So yeah, that was something. Oh my God. Look at that. Now there was a comment made about the East Coast guys saying that the West Coast guys don't know what's up with that. Okay, that was bad. That is bad right there. I will give you guys that. But I will tell you this. Whoever made that comment has no idea what DNC is all about. No clue. Or I don't think they've been to a Silver State, okay? Because by the end of DNC and Silver State, you guys got one section. I saw two sections on that whole track, which was cool because we got to see it from the drone. But there was only two sections that were really bad like this. At DNC, the whole track looks like that, guys. The whole track. And I'll tell you what, there's two people that stick out in my mind that can drive a track like that. Jared Tebow and Jermaine Robinson. Those are the two guys that I've seen go through ruts like that, like it was no one else's business. I thought that was the coolest thing in the world. I know other guys have done it too and everything, but I saw Jermaine Robinson do it in Sportsman, and I was just like, how did he? No, intermediate. I was like, how did he do that? And then Jared Tebow was just going through the stuff like it was nothing. So that was pretty cool. So yeah, that was a good race. Definitely a lot of character built up, and that was funny. But I do something else that I did hear, during the race. Dakota Fit was getting interviewed. If you guys want to go back and watch watch the race, but Dakota Fit was getting interviewed, and they stopped the interview so they could hear Lance over the mic. And this is a big thing, guys. This is a big thing, but maybe a lot of racers don't know this stuff, or they don't care, or I don't know what the situation is. But guys, you line up how you qualify. Okay, now that's not going to be the case with SoCal RC Track Series, so we're going to work on that because it's going to be randomly selected. But lining up for that driver stand, to get on the driver stand, you line up how you qualify, guys. So yeah, the first practice or the first qualifier, it's who gets there first to get a good spot on the driver stand. But for the main events, guys, you line up how you qualify. And if that guy is late getting up there, he gets first pick still. I don't know how other races do it, but if TQ is last getting up there and he has nowhere to stand, this is what happens. The race director has to call everyone back, and TQ picks his spot first, second, third, and so on and so on. That's how that goes down, guys. Because for the fact that Lance had to get on the mic and yell to people to say, hey, if you don't like it, pack your stuff and go. It's sad that it has to even come to that, okay? Because we couldn't see what was going on up there. Obviously, I wasn't there, but we couldn't see what was going on the driver's stand. But someone wasn't giving up their spot, and I don't know how that went down, but it was great for the race director to take control and to say that. So just so you guys know, at almost 99% of the events, that's what has to happen, okay? Main events, you line up how you qualifier. Unless you're like me, you get special privilege and you're working the event and you're like qualified third and like I see Mike Shirley, Rhonda, and somebody else sitting there, and I get to jump in front of them because I'm working. That's an exclusion. But everybody else, damn it, everybody else, you got to line up how you qualify. All right, so make sure you guys try to follow the rules at big races, okay, or any club race or anything. All right, and like I said, getting back to Lance and Elite Productions, I think it's so cool how they're testing the waters with things. Again, you read comments and you see what people say and all this other stuff. You know, all my water's gone. And they were talking about how, do less of the sectors and do this. As me as a race director now, I saw that. I saw the sector thing, and I've always wondered what it was, because I'm new at race directing and calling races and all that. And then right as I was like, what is that? Then all of a sudden you see Lance and them doing sector racing, and I was like, that's how that works, and that is so cool. So big props to Live RC and or what's it called, Live Media or Live RC, whatever it is, um, for them to even have that stuff on the site for us to use as race directors. I thought it was pretty cool. Some people don't understand how it worked, but I thought it was the coolest thing in the world. And for them to utilize that and take time out of their busy schedule and to embrace that at a race and try it out, again, big props to those guys, man. They're again, when it comes to stepping out of the bubble and trying to test things, do things different, these guys are always the first on it. So big shout out to you guys. That was pretty cool. I actually enjoyed it. When they did call out, oh, he was faster in this sector and not this sector, I think it would have been cool as a racer to hear that too, because now I'd like to go back and be like, okay, what did he say about my race? Where was I faster? Where was I not faster? Because as a racer, oh my God, if you could hear that during your event, like during qualifying or during something like that, oh my God, that's a game changer. Because now you know where you need to step it up and, work on speed, so that's kind of cool. So, yeah, I think that was a pretty cool race. Wicked Weekend. Hey, congrats to Wicked Weekend. I know some people claim to have the biggest races and all that, but hey, Wicked Weekend, they beat us by like 6 guys. So they had the biggest race of the year. So congrats to Wicked Weekend. Kind of weird, odd, way of turnouts this year. Usually Silver State's usually the biggest or one of the biggest. PNB is usually the biggest. But yeah, change of events, so how that went down. So it was pretty interesting. So I don't know. But hey, Michael Thompson. I see my boy Michael Thompson online. And hey, Connie's out there. We're going to be talking about Apple Bash RC coming up soon. But happy to have them on board. That's going to be cool. They're going to be round 2, by the way, but we're going to get into that in a minute. But I saw Michael Thompson on. Michael Thompson is our drone guy. Personally, one of my good friends. And I wanted to ask you guys this, all right? So if you guys got to watch the live footage, which was great at Wicked Weekend, if you guys got to watch it, they had drone footage going on, okay? And I've heard it, even I talked to Lance. Lance has gotten complaints, like, hey, it's in the way or whatever. We've gotten the same thing a couple times. And I think it's here to stay. I personally will never tell Mike Thompson not to do drone footage because, yeah, Mike's not okay, so the guy that was doing the drone footage at Wicked Weekend, that is Dave Lycum, which is the owner of Elite Productions, or not Elite Productions, the owner of Race Time Entertainment. There we go. Let's get it right. He's the owner of that, and I believe his son is the one that's doing the drone flying. And that kid's got to be a racer, because if you see him flying around, following the cars like he's doing, it's unreal. It's unreal. I'm not saying my boy Michael Thompson can't do it, because he can't put nothing past us OG guys, But I don't think his drone could do what that kid's drone was doing. Okay, it was amazing. But I personally liked it how, oh my God, when he was following the pros, of course they're showing the angle right behind the car, and to see them do this going down a straight was like, oh my God, did you see what he just did? I mean, obviously I can't see myself driving. I'm pretty sure we do the same thing, but to see it from that point of view, that's just a point of view we can't see from the driver's stands or pit lane or something else. So I thought the drone footage was absolutely phenomenal. And it's the same with like when Mike Thompson does our drone footage, I'm just like, I think it's amazing. I absolutely love it. Like it's just different views, from the air to see the character in the track, to see, how you're taking your lanes and, lining up for jumps and then seeing the guys going around the ruts and all that kind of stuff. Just a different point of view. And I personally think that right there, drone footage in RC, I saw guys talking about, how we can make RC big, bigger, a media station needs to get a hold of blah, blah, blah. That right there is what's going to sell it. That right there. Drone footage of RC cars going around the track. Just my personal opinion, just what I think. But I think that kind of footage is just amazing, just amazing. So big shout out to all the drone guys that are, getting it down out there. Speaking of that, though, we will have Marco Thompson out at the SoCal RC Track Series. He's going to be getting his drone on, and he's going to be racing. So he actually is a racer, but he does the drone stuff on the side. So that's cool. He's going to be out there. Can't wait. Yeah, and Innovate RC Labs. What's up, buddy? One of our sponsors for our big races. Good to see him out there. Brian Kupski. Hey, big shout out to Brian, man. He stayed and helped me and my wife pull pipe. He pulled a couple nails, just a couple, but it was the fact that he even tried to stay. Just wanted him to get home safe. That's all. So anyway, all right, guys, let's move on. We had a couple series this past weekend. We had the Top Notch Series that was held at the world famous Revelation Raceway. So that was a pretty good turnout, guys. If you don't know, but in Southern California, in the West region, or what are we, Region 2? It has been hot. I mean, hot. Hot. But you RC car driver guys are hardcore, man. Hardcore. You guys were out for the TNS race. You were out for JBRL. I mean, and then, yeah, it's just, these are 3-digit races, 3-digit temperature races, and we're out there full swing racing, man. So, yeah, pretty cool, man. They had 100 something entries. I liked what one of my buddies said, Lee General. He's not doing all the series, but he's picked a series to race. And he goes, I'm keeping it fun. I'm just racing E-Truck and Nitro Truck. I think that's what it was. Or Truck and Trucker. I don't know what it was. But I love to hear that. I love to hear that. Keep your budget good. Keep racing RC, or keep RC racing fun, and call it a day. He's not trying to do all the series or this. He's picking and choosing. And I thought that was cool. So, and when he does it, he's podium, So, I mean, he let Josh Mitchell whoop on him. But, that was it was pretty good, fun to watch. They didn't have live footage, but we followed on live RC, so it was pretty cool. So Notch had a good TNS race. That was pretty cool. And then we had JBRL just this past weekend. So that was held at our world famous Thunder Alley. So that was a good race. I sucked. I made the A main, and I didn't run my truggy because my truggy is back there still looking pretty. But I ran 40 plus buggy and expert buggy, and the king got us, man. The king got us. It was between Richard, Steve Antel, myself, and Tyler Brown. And man, I again, my buddy Peter built a flawless Mugen. My buddy Travis Horn, we're going to talk about that. Getting pitted. This is the second time I got pitted by a pro, and this is the only sport you could be shaking, wondering, my pit guy, he's going to, did I just take that turn wrong, or, But anyway, Travis Horn pitted me, and man, I ran out of gas not once but twice. And then I was on the podium. I passed Tyler Brown on the last lap. Richard Saxon was already checked out in 40 plus. I was like, cool, I just passed Tyler. Okay, no problem. Right as I was getting ready to go over a jump, it lean bogged and it just fell straight down. I was like, oh, that's not a good thing. And then I flipped back over, and the next thing you know, blah, 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 blah. Ran out of gas. And then in intermediate, Nick Wallet was gone. That boy, he's on another level right now, man. Him and that dang Hong Norbor car, whatever he's driving, he's on another level with it, man. He's killing it. So good shout out to Nick Wallet. But he was checked out. And then it was between James Spratley, myself, and Chase Antel. We were all fighting for second and third, okay? James had second locked up. Chase was right behind him, and then I chased them all down, okay? And I passed Chase Antel. I was like, all right, he's down. I got James right there. James, I got to give that kid props. We're going to talk about him in a minute. He was driving so smart. He wasn't trying to drive around traffic. Traffic was not on the leader side this race. And he was just waiting on him. They weren't letting him go, so he was just waiting on him. And I saw that. I could see it. I was like, dude, I'm going to catch him. But I was on the gas so much. and I ran out of gas. Here's the line, and I went. I ran out of gas right at the line. That sucked. What do you do? So James gets second, Chase gets third, and I get the big. So anyway, it was a great RAM program. Big shout out to Jimmy, Daniel Adams, and of course Mr. Sexy Leg himself. Ran a flawless program in the triple digit heat. It was crazy. And what do you do? So speaking of, we kind of figured this out. I only get the bug in my throat when I do a podcast. And I stopped drinking the energy drink because they were saying caffeine does that. So I drank warm water and it's still here. So got to bear with me, guys. All right. So what do we got next on the list? What do we got next on the list? Michael's watching, of course. What's up, German Rays? Don't forget all this 3-digit heat. German Rays is out there for you. All right. Vintage race. Again, these are all my opinions. All right. Just my opinions. Okay, guys? The vintage race has got to be the pimpest race in RC history. RC history, guys. And the one and only King himself has got a lot to do with that. All right. I'm not saying he has anything to do with bringing people in or whatever, but Team Associated, for them to come out with this race and to do what they did, Richard goes, "Hey, Chris, do you realize we got 800 and some entries and it sold out like that?" That is the sickest thing in the world. Because I was asking them, I was like, "You see my stadium truck over there? I want to run that thing so bad at a race where it's designed to run 10 scale, not on so much on the 8 scale track, you know." But man, that is the most coolest thing in the world. For a race to be sold out that fast, and to me, it's not the same crowd. Even though the majority of people that are racing, 8 scale, whatever, these people are there to have a blast. It's in Vegas, of course. And then it's just the format of running your old vintage cars. I'm not a fan of them. As vintage as I'm gonna get is that red Monster Beetle. And then my Golden Arrow, which was a Radio Shack car. So that's as vintage as I ever get because my first big car was a T-Max and then my off the 8 scale. So that's as vintage as I'll ever get. But for all the guys that were racing in the 80s, the 90s, early 2000s, it is so cool to see all these people come together for this race. So looking forward to watching this. I cannot wait to watch this one. I'm actually thinking about making the trip out there because I'm super busy, as you guys know. I'm running around like crazy. But to go to the banquet and to hear a lot of these older guys talk and put faces to names and everything, I think I'm gonna have to take Richard up on that banquet. So I'm thinking about heading out there to watch that. That'd be super cool. So